back. So I promised I'd come back. I didn't come back as quick as I said I would. However, it started to rain and I made myself some coffee. So I kind of got stuck there. So happy New Year to you. I am going to share this out really quick so we can get some people in here to hang out with us. And let's see here. So yeah, I've got a few subjects. I made some posts over the fall. I had been putting together some writings on my meditation class and my Tarot 101. I did some of the videos for both. Yet there was a lot of writing that was going on. So I posted a couple of those blogs if you're so inclined to get a little idea about what some meditation techniques you can use. Box breathing is my favorite description, like being able to breathe appropriately and stacking your spine, what proprioception is and compartmentalization, etc. But I did some writings on the different chakras. And so those are available for you to check out. Descriptions, my own personal perception of the meanings of the different chakras, how they interact within the body, etc. If you guys know me at all, you know that I'm a great myth buster. I like to make things simple so that you can actually utilize these tools, right? So I had some insights to the chakras, and most especially during periods of activation where I had these awarenesses over this last year. Each and every one of my chakras has managed to present itself in a profound way. So my understanding got a little deeper. So there's a couple blogs there for you to check out. Yes. And so yeah, so those are there. I shared some of those out. We have Mercury Retrograde coming up toward the middle and the end of this month. So I wanted to talk about Mercury Retrograde before I got into the questions. And yes, absolutely, we will be doing readings. So what my request is that you be concise. If you want a general spread, I love those. It allows me to tap into your energy and just pick up what spirit feels you need to hear or what's the most pronounced thing. But by all means, if you have a question or a burning question, type it in the chat box. My method and mechanism is I go to where I'm drawn. The chats get really lost. Sometimes I do my best to keep up with it. Most of the time I get to everyone, so just hang out with me. The other thing I'd like to say, hi Kalana, what's going on? The other thing I'd like to say is there tends to be a mentality of, I don't want to say herd, but there's definitely a group energy. So if you find something that's resonating with you, like vibe with it. If it doesn't, sometimes I get a little sideways with it, whatever. So yes. Hello, Twitch. So yeah, so I kind of go all over the place, but I'll get to you. I do have it very simple for you to donate if you so choose to. That's all karma on deck, PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. You can find me all the same. There's links on my YouTube if you feel like it. So here we go. All right, so I did want to talk about a few things before we get started. Subjects that have been coming up. Hot coffee on a cold day. So first thing I want to bring up is Mercury retrograde. We have a shadow period and then the full-on 3 weeks lasts about 5. So we have about 7 to 10 days before it kicks in. Now, I wanted to talk about Mercury retrograde in and of itself. So we have the common expectations for Mercury retrograde, the electronics, communication. So with electronics, we've got a couple weeks before shadow period, but a lot of us feel as if Mercury retrograde comes up and kicks us right in the nuts. We don't know that it's coming, or like, oh shit, how did I not know? But it happens rapidly every 3.5 months or so. I think this year we get 4 this year because of the way that it's coming in the beginning. I don't know. However, Mercury does mess with communication. So that affects our electronics, which is light, right? Electricity is light, light is communication, light is information. So soon as you start doing anything with communication, that can also affect your travel. So I want you to think of communication and air traffic control, communication with the computers and the scheduling. This is where you send an email and it goes to everybody, or you CC everybody, or you don't put a content in on a deadline or something. So there's all the cautionary stuff. Plus there's the X's and the relationship stuff. People talk about them coming back around, etc. And I always say when it comes to Mercury retrograde, heal it or kill it. And I don't mean be rude. I mean, like, if somebody comes back in your life, you have an opportunity to reframe the experience and heal it, or kill it off so that it doesn't have that recurring injury potential. So one of the important things I wanted to talk about Mercury retrograde was to look at where Mercury is in your chart and see how Mercury is going to affect you in particular, what house it's in, what planets are affecting it. Not all Mercury retrogrades are created the same. They cycle throughout the sky, just like your birth chart is not the same as the planetary alignment that's going on right now. So as the cosmos is in its beautiful spiral from the galactic center, it catches these different moods within different interactions. So pay attention to, I'll be posting some cross-posting, Chutavasa, I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's Nightlight Astrology, okay? Achyutavasa, Bvhava, I think it is. Anyways, I am taking my Hellenistic astrology from Achyuta because he is so pragmatic. But he will go over, and I'll post his astrology of January 2022. So you can take a look at what these energies are this month on my YouTube, or on my Facebook, I'll post that. But if you are on my YouTube, you can see his YouTube channel listed on my favorites, okay? So the reason why I'm talking about this Mercury is because I personally am hypersensitive to planetary alignments. I always feel them like Mercury, I feel a solid week to 2 weeks, a good 10 days before Mercury shadow period comes. I can feel that energy shifting. So my bestie does astrology and she's like, how you feeling? And then she'll match it with the upcoming energy. She's like, yep, that's it. It's frustration or it's excitement. We're feeling housebound. So I would encourage you to plan for these things. So let's say this Mercury is in Scorpio. I'm making it up, okay? Scorpio is transformation. It's deep sexuality, sensuality, the dark side, all of those things that come up with Scorpio. If it were a Scorpio season, you would know how to prepare yourself for this upcoming season. So if you look for what Mercury has to say in this January, prepare for it. Look at these aspects and see how it's going to affect you. And if you know that it's going to affect your relationships in particular, because Venus is involved or whatever house. This is where you plan to work on communication within your relationships before the event happens. It's like saying, all right, man, I know my family's going to be over tonight and my mom gets on your last damn nerve. So let's talk about it and set those ground rules beforehand. So you have an opportunity to navigate better. So that's why I'm bringing Mercury retrograde up now. If you're traveling, we can't stop or put a pin in our activities, functions, travel, different things, just because Mercury's coming around. We don't not go to work because it's raining out. You can find an umbrella. That's the point of astrology, you know, is planning for the energy. So the aspects are perfect and they're timed. Mercury retrograde should be coming in shadow period about the 15th of this month, and it goes full out toward the end. So we have plenty of time to look this information up and see how it's going to affect us. Take a look at your Mercury and your birth chart and just know how it's going to be affecting you. Because if you notice, some people are going wild balls out, freaking out. Mercury's kicked me, right? But then you have other people like, I was riding this one out just fine. It has to do with your birth chart and the placement of that Mercury. It's not always about relationships. It's not always about communication. It has these little flavors to it. So just a reminder toward the end of this month, so you can plan for that. And I don't mean to get heavy on you guys, but I love you. So the next subject I wanted to bring up before we get into the question, there's two actually, and they kind of go hand in hand. And one of them is depression. And this goes out to my light workers and people who are feeling their awakening, or even those of us that are feeling confused. There has been a wave of collective energy that has to do with depression. And so I think it's a difficult subject to talk about, because the instant you bring it up, worry ensues. People automatically assume you've gone. So as a paramedic, we call it suicidal ideation when we feel like we're going to hurt ourselves. When you're depressed, you've got these symptoms of hopelessness, not wanting to engage, sleeping too much, avoidance, techniques, etc., escapism, the sadness, all of those things. Now, it is unreasonable to expect these emotions to not just disappear if you've ever experienced them before. So depression has been a huge energy lately. I've had a handful. So if there's any of my energy workers listening who are like, she's bringing me up. I'm not. I'm talking about a handful, at least 6 different energy workers that came to me going, this is heavy. I have never felt this hopelessness, this heaviness. I had a really good friend of mine commit suicide a month ago. He was a musician, artist, very awakened and alert, aware, loving, doing everything I thought he could. And I saw in him this light that inspired me. And even he was weak. And so I want to encourage you if you're feeling depressed. So depression versus suicidal ideation. Depression being the sadness, the stuck feeling we can do something about. Suicidal ideation is having that plan. Please ask for support. Get some help, because there are methods, mechanisms, ways, even if it's therapy, energy work, come see me. Clear some of this. But when it comes to depression, it's a slippery slope. So when you find yourself in those moments, we got to change our rhythm a little bit, right? So the first thing I would encourage is self-care. And I don't mean like baby yourself or go get your nails done. I'm talking about make sure you shower, make sure you do your makeup, present yourself to yourself as if you were going to an interview or on a date. Put yourself in a mindset of preparing yourself for the day, because what ends up happening is we get in these emotional funks and we don't want to get dressed, or we don't want to go out or do anything. So it's go for the coffee, it's take the shower, it's put the makeup on every day. I had one girl, was a nurse. I told her every day for 7 days she had to put on the Victoria's Secret and the Bath and Body. She's like, I don't know how I can do that at work. I'm like, underneath, you have to feel this way so you can shift your energy, because we lose our flavor. It's like potatoes with no butter, no gravy, no salt. It's bland. So we got to change these colors up. I mean it. Do something physical for yourself. One of the things that I use to combat depression in my routine is I do one thing a day that I'll thank myself for tomorrow, so I don't feel as hopeless about all the things on my plate. But depression is a collective energy. It's rolling around right now. If we are not setting clear boundaries and we have a lot of things going on that are out of our control. These last 2 years with the plague going on, we have had upheavals with almost everyone, whether it be relationship or financial or health and wellness. There have been a lot of wild cards thrown out there, and it's overwhelming. So self-care means saying no to the big crowds when you know you're going to be a shit because you don't want to be out, or if it's going to make you cry or overstimulate you. Yet connect with others if you can. Yeah, Chelsea's saying it's bad right now. So this conversation came up in a multitude of ways in one day. Light workers, practitioners saying they felt, and I myself was feeling psychic attack. Verbiage in my head that I've never used my own self. So what happens when the light shines? It gets tested a little bit. Are you sure this is what you want to do? And your practice, your routine comes into play. So if you're feeling these psychic attacks, or if the sound of these thoughts coming into your head don't feel like you, the first and immediate response that you should do is sage, salt, pray. Ultimately, your protections have to be immaculate. I have all of these on, each one for a different reason. And that's where ritual comes in. The first time you use a bracelet or a stone or a crystal, it has very little meaning but what someone tells you to. But with repeated use and application, intention, right, and ritualizing the use of them, they can be a focus point. So up your protections. Limit the type of television you watch before you go to bed, right? Like, our brain is constantly stimulated with violence, fear. I mean, oh my God, you're watching a crazy, scary Matrix movie where everybody's running and there's afraid and fear. And then you want to go to bed 30 minutes later and we haven't calmed our mind. Like, subtract some of the time that you're using electronics and TV, video games that are violent, movies that are violent. This is how we're programming ourselves. So it's easy to slip into that stuff. So absolutely take it seriously and up your protections. And be faithful, be ritualistic with it. So hopefully that didn't bring you guys way super down. But I just wanted to speak of hope too. I mean, we're in a very transformative phase. We have a third of the people that are completely selfish, a third of the people that are just literally apathetic, right? Wait, a third that's apathetic, a third that's really selfish, and then we have this other third of these awakened people trying to make a change, and it just seems like the whole tide is against us. So it gets frustrating. But tides are turning, guys. We have done so much work on these grids. And I always say, what does a dying animal do? It bites, it scratches, it calls for help, makes more noise. So we have structures that are falling away, transmuting. And so everybody's not getting their way and they're screaming. So go where the love is. Go where the love is. Really listen to someone's language. If it's I, me. Selfish versus service to others. We. Very easy to articulate who's service to self or who's service to others. Just based on their language style, whether they are Aquarian or not. All right, so I am, hopefully that wasn't too whoop. I just wandered for a moment there. So like I said, I'm about to take some questions, Q&As. Let me get my pen here. Hold the line, right? Are we spending enough time in sacred space? Are we giving any time at all to sacred space? That's a good one too. Like if we're going through the whole day in mechanics, work, kids, food, etc., are we giving any time to sacred space? So it's very, very easy to get overwhelmed when we haven't created that sacred space and ritualized our life. So it's a lot easier for us to get depression when we're feeling boxed in by these matrix structures that we have. This isn't how we're supposed to be living. We're supposed to be living in these beautiful, loving, earthy communities, and we're in this matrix right now. And so as we're breaking it down and moving on to different ways of beingness, it's a flailing, drowning, energy sucking kind of thing unless you're doing the work. And if you're not doing the work, you're feeling even more frustrated because now where do I begin? And it just feels like too much. So my advice is to just begin. If that means spending 5 minutes with breath work, learning how to do the box breathing I talk about all the time, breathing in 5 seconds, holding for 5, however many your breath in is, and then out and finding that pause. Like even if you're playing with breath and taking a few breaths a few times a day and just clearing for a moment, you begin to have a little bit more control, or it feels as if you're grounded. So no, they're not picked at random. So let's get into the readings. Post your question. Be specific. If you want general, I like those. Just put general. Let me know if it's love versus decision making. There are places for you to donate. If you're on my YouTube, it's just at the banner. Otherwise, it is all Karma on Deck at Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. And if you want to book your one-on-one, schedule's open for tomorrow. All right, let's take a look here. I'm just going to go here. So love and relationship for Stacy Brown. How are you, Stacy? Love and relationship. So Posh, my parents passed last July. Been really tough holiday season as it's the first one without them. That is tough. It changes the dynamics of how you celebrate, right? I did do, I don't know, K and at. I'm just going to put K for Shav, for love. Alejandra V. And that's a relationship 1, 2, Chance. Connection, and then Stacy. Hi, Stacy. And then Ada. Court. All right, so I have my first 4 here, first couple. All right, so this is for Stacy Brown. We're going to be using the Mystic Dreamer because that one tends to talk to me about personalities. Oh, I see Denise up here. My bad, Denise. Dennis Estevez? Stacy Brown, this is for you, darling. You still here, Stacy? Hi. What'd you get into? No. Here comes the doggo. Are you still here, Stacy? Yay! Okay, so Stacy has a question about love for 2022. Jameson wants up on my lap. What do you want? All right, so Stacy, initially, you've like kind of given up on the idea. Did you meet somebody on social, like on dating app or something that kind of went bad? I am seeing the 5 of Pentacles, which is lack of hope. You've kind of walked away from the dating scene and kind of let it go. There is an individual that you're still dealing with, I think, or you're afraid is going to come back or might ask to come back. So there is the 2 of Cups here, which is love. So I'm seeing the Emperor, which is somebody that is kind of controlling a situation or wants to. Yeah, so this individual is kind of in the way, and it's going to take a little bit of time for this to clear. But I am going to promise you in the center of your reading, Jameson. So I've got the 6 of Swords, which is things getting easier. However, I'm not sure that this is going to be a viable connection. I think that you're a little afraid that they haven't changed their ways. I think this individual is going to ask for your attention again. Just letting you know, but it feels like there's a lot of entanglement with it. Like there's a lot to clear. And so you do love this individual. So as far as love goes, I see a reconnect with this individual. Ooh, the Lover's card in dead center of your reading too. He'll start snoring any minute, this dog. I remember one time when he was in my office, someone was like, wait a minute, is there someone snoring? I'm like, yes, it would be the dog. Okay, this is for Dennis Estevez if you're still here. And then after that, I'll be doing K. She said, oh boy. Well, it definitely feels as if this individual has that intention. I just don't know that you feel it's a good fit. And I don't feel as if they're going to change their behavior. And they like to be a little controlling and very independent. Hello, Denny. Am I saying your name right? Denise Estevez? D-I-N-I-S? Denise? Sorry. I couldn't resist. Denise, I'll put you on the list, Kaulana. If you want to hang out. Was I being too heavy with the depression? You're welcome, Stacy. All right, here we go. So, Denise. So general, actually, let me use the other deck. So you're asking for a general spread. Nice. All right, Denise, this is for you. So you had some troubles going on, Denise. It's been chaotic for you. Like overwhelming and chaotic. You couldn't see your way out of this situation. We've got tension and pressure. We also have something, you know, to do with overwhelm. We have anxiety a little bit. And I think you've just overcome something where you had to put someone in their place where they were lying to you or not telling the truth. That's in this back row here. The Devil card says that you saw right through it. However, I can tell you that this situation has cleared or will clear very shortly, or if it hasn't already begun to feel like less pressure, we've got the Six of Swords. Six of Swords is us seeing it getting easier. I can say, though, Denise, that this has caused a little bit of isolation on your part where you've just tried to stay to yourself, pretending like everything's okay. You've got the Hermit card, and there's a little bit of anxiety, right? She said, college is killing me. I'm feeling overwhelmed and anxious. So look here. So I was going to ask you if there was some kind of document, contract, or something that you've signed. So this is the Justice card. Maybe you had a grant or a scholarship that paid for something. I feel like there's this contract, or maybe it's just you putting yourself to higher expectations than, and things just haven't been in as alignment as you'd have liked. So you can't kind of see your way out of it. Overwhelm, overwhelm, overwhelm. Look, here's the Page of Wands, which is school. See the books. I don't know if you can see the books at the bottom. So education. Also, the Hermit has to do with knowledge too. But maybe you're losing out on social interaction and feeling kind of isolated, because the Hermit card tells us that we don't feel like we have enough connection. And it's a good thing when we choose it. But when we don't choose it, it tends to be like a punishment, right? So anxiety, overwhelm, etc. But the cards are showing me the Ace of Coins. So if you hold the line, this is going to be worth it. I feel like whatever it is you're doing is going to bring you a lot of money. You're just working harder than you expected right now. I mean, this is all just showing me your current situation. I just feel like it's she said, I won a scholarship this year and now need to keep marks high, but it's really tough. Okay, yeah. So I'm seeing, you know, that's what this is the contract. So with the Justice card, it's about honoring this contract. And so right next to it, we have the Justice card, which is tension, judgment, right? Like, oh my God, like if I don't do this. And I see you're struggling against it. See the Two of Coins is money. There's a lot. Like there's a lot going on. I feel like you want to move. I feel like there's a vacation that you want to take. I feel like you're also got some stuff going on regards to feeling defensive. So the only thing I can say is the cards are showing me that that you will start to love what it is that you're doing. You just need to get into a rhythm. And get excited about it. Like try to reframe it from have to go to school to get to, because it's just a small period of time, but it sure doesn't feel like it when you're in it. Okay, so I think Kay Chavez was next if you're still here. Kay Chavez was asking about a love connection. And then Alejandra is after that. Alejandra, are you still here? Ada, are you still here? And Kawana, you're next after all that. Well, just a couple, actually. So let me know you guys are still here, or I will go through the chat and see. Queen of Swords, are you still here? Who's still in the chat here? Okay, Ada Sanchez. So Ada, you too. She said have a good 22. Let me see here. Court legal issue for Capricorn. All right. This is Ada real quick. Okay, good. Yay! My people are still in the room. So Ada Sanchez Hammond. This is a court issue. Let's take a look. High Priestess. So I do feel like a decision's about to be made. We have the Moon card, which is a lot of fear. So are you having to defend yourself against something? I am seeing this Three of Wands, which is defensive. Either that or you're kind of feeling the pressure, right? So I'm also seeing speed. Like once this comes into, uh-oh. Okay, I thought I was losing the battery on the computer. Woo, that would have been fun. So what I'm seeing is the Moon card, which is fear. So there's worry and fear surrounding this situation. Things are moving too quickly. I do feel like a decision is coming up. Black and white is up in the corner. What does your instinct say? Because there is still decisions to be made. And I feel like a lot of these decisions are on you. Yes, my husband got hurt and we're getting ready to start court. Okay. I feel like they're going to ask a lot of personal questions, or it's going to feel as if they are. You're going to have to push your way through this one. It's going to take a lot of leadership on your part if he's still injured, or if you're the one that handles this stuff. I feel like a lot of this burden is going to be on you, or maybe there's going to be a portion of you nurturing or directing some of this information. I feel like there's still some ideas of how to go about these things that are coming up for you. Just expect that once it all kicks into gear, it's going to move pretty quickly. And just be aware of miscommunication. You might want to stay on top of them, whoever it is that you're dealing with, because I'm seeing the Three of Swords. So if you're beginning this process now, keep organized and keep focused on the progression of it, because I feel like we don't want you to get lost in the paperwork here. However, I am getting the King of Swords, which is victory. She said, they are liable. Yes, I am. We had to get a new attorney. Okay, so your answer is the King of Swords right here. Look at these two cards. So she's got the King of Swords, victory. The literal definition in the booklet to this says victory. You've won the war, now you must win the peace. If he's got injured, he still has to heal. But this is King of Swords, which is victory. I see black and white with things getting in writing. And then I see the Sun card, which is celebration. And I was going to ask you if there was a male involved in your question when you said court, because we have the King of Coins. So get paid. It's just going to take time, I see. And trust yourself. The High Priestess is in play too. So Kay has a love question about a love connection. And Alejandra's here, and then it would be Kawana. So this is for Kay. So Kay, hang tight, Kawana. I got you both. Thank you. I can breathe, and please direct me to how to donate. Okay, so yeah, it's just going to take a little time, but it feels like victory's on your side. So Karma on deck, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App are all the same. Karma Steel, you can find me. Kayanat Bathari. So this is for a love connection. So the first thing that I'm getting from this individual, I think, is they're not giving you enough feedback. You have the Four of Swords, which is that they're not talking to you or communicating. Or I would, you might see someone behaving in an on and off kind of behavior, because we have the Four of Swords, we have the Moon card, and we have the Four of Pentacles. I can tell you that I feel this person is hard to please, but mostly it's because they don't know what they want. We have this Four of Cups right here. They're not happy with what's in front of them because they always want something they can't have. So this person doesn't know how to be happy in the moment. I feel that you guys are both equally powerful individuals in different ways. So there might be a little conflict and headbutting there too. I also feel like this individual might have a lot of energy that is weak. Isn't the right word. Alpha isn't the right word. It's just a placement that's very different. We have Emperor and Empress. So that's, I don't like to say male or female. I like to use the words dominant, right? Dominant, not exactly submissive either, but more so along the lines of nurturing versus, alpha is alpha. Man, they walk into a room, they know what they want, they know how to get it done, they know how to speak to it, right? And somebody that's alpha, hi Laura. So someone that's alpha can't really appreciate somebody who is, it's perceived as weak. It's perceived as wishy-washy. Like somebody who's quiet and doesn't know what they want, sometimes that gets frustrating for an alpha individual. Because I am getting a lot of like, I think you really do know yourself. And this is a frustrating dichotomy for you. Like they don't know what they want. So I feel like you're going to be hanging around, kind of orbiting this individual a little bit. I still feel like there's a connection, but I feel like they're going to dip off the radar on occasion. It makes you wonder if there's another individual. Is this person by any chance? Bisexual? Because I'm picking up that they're not confident in it, or confident with their body even, maybe. I'd like to know that. But I still see there's a strong friendship with you too. Regardless, just tread softly. You have the Moon card. You have fear for a reason. Trust your intuition. That's the Moon. Okay, let's see. Hopefully that helps you. Okay. So there's one more in front of you, and then it will be Kaulana from Instagram. So I'm Alejandra V. If you're still here, she is bi. Okay, let's talk about that for a minute. So I, myself, am bi. And one of the things I resented was people that would say, you just don't know what you want. I remember this, one of my favorite drag queens, Kiska Diva at the Phoenix in Las Vegas. She's always talking about bi people being greedy. I finally sat her down one day and I'm like, cut it out. We're in the LGBTQ. We're the B in the middle, right? And so sometimes we don't speak out because there is so much opinion about it. And until we get confident in it, we're just not sure how it's going to be perceived. I do feel as if this individual is just not confident with it, and so doesn't quite know how to speak to the changing of their mind. And it's not about whether male or female. I think it's right now they're just unsure on what direction they want to go. And I do feel as if there's somebody hanging on in their energy too. So would appreciate some guidance on A is a Capricorn, intentions as to why he's back. Thank you so much. All right, so Alejandra V, and then we're going on to Kaulana, and then I'm going to review the chat and see who's here. If you guys want to ask a question, you can post it. Kaulana, baby, are you still here? And then I will revisit the chat. Thank you. Happy New Year, Traviesa. Kaulana, baby, you still there? And then I'm going to look at the chat while you let me know. And I will line up the next few. Oh, she's here. Okay, I'll look at you guys in just a minute. So are you nervous? Why are you nervous? Kaulana, you've had readings from me before. She's nervous. I feel it. Are you nervous? Or do you just have anxiety? Come on. Let's see what her question was. She said, tell me something good. Okay, here we go. You're not nervous about anything. Either that or somebody came in the room here and had a little butterflies. Okay. I wouldn't say this is heavy, but I do have the Death card. Scorpio. Transformation. So I feel as if there's been some shifts that have already happened in your life. What I am seeing for you is a lot of dichotomy. I'm seeing the Two of Swords. So this is you sitting in the middle waiting for enough information before you make a decision. However, in that sitting, we have got the analysis paralysis and the Hangman. So Two of Swords. If you notice the Two of Swords, she's got crows on either side of her throne here. And she's like giving them equal attention left and right. Well, I don't know. It is kind of risky. Well, yeah, there's a great benefit. And so sitting in the middle here, sometimes the thing I love to talk about with the Two of Swords is sometimes if you don't make a decision, some situations have like an expiration date. Like, let's see the choice between two lovers, right? One of them is moving away. So if you don't seal the deal before they leave, right? They leave and then you never know. You're always going to wonder what happened to that boo. Right? So we have the Hangman for you, Kaulana, which is delays. There's been a lot of Hangman energy, which this is the period for you, which is about growth, okay? So the Hangman is growth. It's also a delay. So if you're feeling like things are not moving, that's kind of true. And what I am seeing for you, she said, I'd like to ask about, oh, that's Laura. So what I'm seeing is, I don't know if you are looking for an apology or expecting one from someone, but I do think that is coming your way. You do have the Knight of Swords, so you have a high risk of being impulsive. I would be cautious because it might be taken wrong, okay? Oh, interesting. I decided to pull a little bit more for you because you've been so patient and hanging out with me this entire half hour, 45 minutes. And when it comes, Kaulana, are you single? Because I see you meeting someone on a dating app or social media. We've got the Four of Wands. Curious, because there's two ways this could go. I've got a question about that. Oh. All right, so the reason why I ask that is I have the Four of Wands and the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles has to do with meeting someone online or through a computer, social media, etc. I've got the Two of Cups, which is love, the Wheel of Fortune, which is timing, and then the Seven of Wands, which tells me that you're not ready for this. I have a friend. All right, so yeah, that might progress a little bit. Have fun with it. All right, Alejandra, I think I asked if you were here and I didn't see it. And no, it wasn't for you because I just skipped right under Kaulana because I was double checking if you were there. So let's do Alejandra now, and then we'll pull the rest. Thank you so much for hanging out. She's like, I'm so sorry. Is this for me? No. Woohoo! I know I'm all over the place. If I don't stay organized, if I try to visit the chat or pay attention to it at all, I get squirrely. All right, so I am going to do Alejandra and then poke up on the chat and see the next list. And thank you for the donation, whoever went to PayPal. I just got a notification. Appreciate you. You did put your question. It's okay. All right, Alejandra, thank you so much for your patience and hanging out with me. All of you guys have been so patient. I love that. You're welcome, Kaulana. Thanks for kicking it with me. Actually, we're going to do this for you, Alejandra. So this is just a little Florida water in my squirt bottle I use in lieu of sage when I can't burn things. A little salt on my hands. Let's let go of some of this past stuff and these other readings, and let's look at Alejandra clearly. So let's find out while Alejandra's individual is back in her life. You know what? I need a tether. I'm up here. I want to know who in the room popped in with the anxiety. I can feel it in my chest. Has somebody got some anxiety about a question or some big worry? I can feel it. Okay, here we go. Alejandra. A. This individual's name is A. Aha. So, is this a lover or an ex? Because I'm seeing the Lover's card. Usually that indicates that there is a little bit of, I call it the great tango, where you have somebody that's come back from the past or tends to, right? So we have the Lover's card right here. So this is somebody who you're not quite done with. So here's what I'm seeing for this individual. I would not believe all of their stories. Okay, she said yes to both. Okay, thank you. I needed that confirmation. So what I'm seeing is the Five of Pentacles. Be wary of this individual, only because I don't think they're going to play out what they say they're going to do. It almost feels like dream building, like a narcissist would do. Bigger pictures, more beautiful outcomes, painting it with broad strokes of color and how like it's going to be great. This individual does not have a whole lot of emotional IQ. Okay. I do feel like they have a lot of charisma. So that's this Magician card. So the Magician talks, it's a great card. It's one of my favorites, but every single one of the cards has a light and a dark. If you notice in my readings, I don't do reverse meanings because it's the tone of the overall reading that I look at, not just the card itself. Even though I talk about them individually, because I just, for some reason, can't get myself out of teaching mode from teaching tarot. I'm always like, this one means this, because I feel like people appreciate that I'm not just pulling this shit out of the cosmos for no reason, that the card can actually reflect the tone of the reading. And yes, I am pulling some things from the cosmos because a lot of times it doesn't match, gives me an idea. But we have the Magician, and this has to do with charisma. So if he's charismatic and charming, I feel like that can be used against you or in a way that's for his benefit. Because I am seeing King of Pentacles here and the Emperor and also the Knight of Pentacles. So that tells me he's starting over. Or done something impulsive in either case. But the Emperor tells me this individual likes to be in control, but I'm seeing so many emotional responses from this individual, I don't feel like I can trust him. So it's the difference from being in control versus controlling. I feel like they're not really, and let me show you what I mean, Alejandra. We've got the Seven of Cups. They become overwhelmed easily. Either that or, you know, they like to play overwhelmed so you don't get too close. Oh my God, right? We've got the Five of Wands. So either there was a fight in the past or history. And also might tell me that there's a group involved in some of his drama that he's got going on. The thing that worries me the most about him is this Five of Pentacles. Are you still here? So we've got the Five of Pentacles, which is lack of faith, lack of hope. So this is either him, like borderline, you just had an awareness, borderline depression for him, or you've got no hope or no faith in trusting him. And that, I think, is justified. But there is a karmic tie with this individual. And if you're feeling like you want to shake them, it's going to take some work. You've got the Queen of Swords. That's our bitch card. So that means you're going to have to be very, very clear with this individual in order to keep your boundaries with them. Because I feel like they're going to push those boundaries. And you just had another awareness. Ooh, wow. Okay, so I'm feeling this huge heart chakra clearing for you, like a cold wind is blowing through my chest. And I don't know if you're crying or we're about to, but I feel like great gratitude, like this release, something just release. Because I'm also seeing overwhelm, like he can't decide what it is that he wants to do. So I don't know if that answered your question as to why, but that also gives you an idea of where he's at right now. Does that help you? I see you guys. I'm not going to respond until I'm done with each person's reading. And then when I'm done with this last one and answer any of her wrap-up questions, I'll look at the list. And we will go back to seeing who's next there. Does that help you, Alejandra? I feel like they're like a 2-year-old, okay? Like, would you want to babysit someone's crazy 2-year-old all day long? Because I feel like they're a lot of energy. That's a constant thing. So I feel like if you tap into this energy with them, then it's draining to you. And that's the worry. All right, let me check with this chat. How did you feel that went? Okay. Let's go back up through here and see who's been waiting and who I'm drawn to. Ooh. I am Ashley Estelle. She's got a question. She said home life. You still here? All right. You're very welcome. No, not you're not interfering. There's somebody that keeps posting. I see it. Just let me get to you. All right. So Viv, Traviesa, and Ashley, Viv, and Traviesa. So Viv is asking me, love. And relationship. Ashley is asking me I thought I saw Ashley's question and then Traviesa was next. Okay, she's still here. All right, so home. And then Laura. So Ashley Estelle, been hanging out with me for quite a while, a real OG over there. So Ashley's asking about home life. So with home life, are you referring to a relationship or your finances? Because I would use different cards for those. Posh, type your question again. I know you posted something earlier. Lemon. She said finance, I guess. Hello, Mimi. What's going on? All right, finances. She said, I guess. All right, let's see. And thank you for hanging out. Being so loyal. Always popping on. Okay. Ugh. All right. So definitely overwhelmed. You have the Two of Swords, Ashley Estelle. And you've had to navigate some rocky business in the last little bit. And it's caused you to feel a little overwhelmed. Look here, she's got the Eight of Swords. So the Eight of Swords right here is she's got this blinders on and a lot of things affecting her. Like, so there's a lot of things in front of you. She said they're somewhat intertwined. Okay. So you've got a lot of things in front of you here. Are you going back to school, or is there something involved with school that you're worried about? Either a kid or your husband or you? I mean, I don't know if you're married, but I just feel like the Page of Wands is here. And it affects education, or has to do with education. So I've got a lot of cards for you that have to do with feeling overwhelmed, not making a decision. She said, yes, I'm in school. Okay, great. So what I'm seeing is the Two of Swords and the Libra scale is in the middle. So you feel 6 of one, half dozen of the other. You kind of feel as if you make a decision in either direction, it doesn't feel like it's going to go right. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. You also have the Two of Wands. So this is pulling in that same data we were talking about earlier with taking in too much information. So maybe there's other people that are influencing your decisions and you're listening to their input and it's just getting too much. All right. So you have the Hermit card. The Hermit card has to do with evidence. Picking up to make a list, like a pros and cons list. Because the Hermit card has to do with inspection, looking at things fine-tooth comb, and being meticulous. It might take you pulling back from some things in order to give yourself that time. But I do have to tell you, your biggest struggle right now is trying to figure out how you're going to make the next steps happen. You're looking to bring money in to make these next steps happen. And you're just not sure what ideas are going to work. So that's where your focus lies. Keep the faith. You have the strength, or I'm sorry, the Star card, which has to do with hope. Also, you have the Six of Swords, which means just if you hold the line, things are going to get easier. Queen of Swords, you're not on the list. I didn't make a list from the beginning. I checked to see who was here, but if you want to be on the list, I can put you. Hopefully that helps you. Ashley Estelle. So Viv is asking about love and relationship, and you're the one with the anxiety. So no, you don't have to pay to get a reading. I do accept donations. That's what they were asking about, but no, it's not required. Queen of Swords. So I think Viv, and then it was Traviesa. I got Laura's, and then Queen of Swords, I think. Robert Shroom is chilling with us. Welcome. Okay. Hopefully that was helpful. It felt like it was kind of all over the place. Ah, Bev is also here too. Sorry guys, this isn't easy. The chat, as you guys comment, which is fine, it has a tendency to bump up and then I have to scroll back down. And as I'm scrolling down looking for you guys, just have patience with me. Thank you. As I'm pulling the chats back up, it kind of clears itself and then starts over and takes a few minutes to reload. So it's imperfect at best. I'm seeing Chaylee, if you're still here, she's saying have a great night, but I can't see who's still here. I get that I didn't get you, and I said post your question again. I don't like being yelled at or all caps, and these are free readings, so I'm happy to do them. Have some patience. These, like I said, we're streaming on multiple platforms, and it's sometimes a little bit of a delay with the chat box, so they get lost. So I've mentioned a few names. Let me know if you're still here. There's Beth Keeley that's still here. All right, so hey, Spirit Lady. I'm going to check out from YouTube for a second. What's your question? Aw, thank you. She said she's a gifted reader. Everybody book a full reading if you want more details. It's true. If you want full out reading, deeper on the questions, I don't pull back like your punches, you know. But I still try to be careful of loading it out, your personal business on a platform. She said my caps is stuck. Sorry, I wasn't answering your question. Queen of Swords, would you please put your question for me? You've been here since the beginning, about an hour, so let's make sure I get to her. And hey, Spirit Lady, put your question for me so I can decide, or at least in general. And I'm going to move fast. Post your question again. There was someone else that kept posting, and it wasn't directed at you, Queen of Swords, but there was a couple coming on here where like you missed me or something. I think it was on whatever. But so hey, Spirit Lady, we're going to do her, and then I'm going to come back to this other chat. She said, let the cards flow. Here we go. Ooh, okay. First of all, you have money coming your way. I like seeing that. 6 of Wands, money coming your way. I've got the 5 of Swords, which is conflict that you've had to speak to a number of times. So as you're moving past this energy, it's clear, okay? You've already got the King of Swords, so you've cleared something. Queen of Swords, sorry, walking away from something that doesn't serve you. You might have to keep asserting your boundary with someone, okay? Oh yeah, there is the King of Swords. So you have the King of Swords victory, Queen of Swords walking away from something that doesn't serve you. And then I'm seeing this Knight of Swords, which means that if you've had to be sharp with someone in the past, you're going to have to repeat that same effort in order to keep them at bay, okay? You do have money coming your way. Just have a little patience with timing in the next little phase, because you also have the Hangman. So it's one of those phases where you can't force something. And I would also hazard a guess that if you feel pragmatic or skeptical towards something, then put pauses on it, because this tells me there's a reason you shouldn't be trusting moving forward. I'm also seeing for you, hey, Spirit Lady, the 4 of Cups, which means a bunch of new people coming into your life. 3 of Cups is also chemistry and fun. So you can expect to see a little of that. Joy. And another thing, you're going to have, I think, starts and stops. So it's either going to be all out or dead in the water. So you're going to have these little fluctuations in energy. You're going to feel like everything's getting done, and then you're going to feel like everything comes to a stop. So while you're in the stopping phases, give yourself the quiet time that you need. But I feel like it's going to go back and forth. Hopefully that helps you. Queen of Swords. Let me go all the way to the top and see if her question's at the top. Nope. It doesn't allow me to go up past a certain direction. So I'm losing. So it only goes up to the last 10 minutes. So I'm not able to see past there. That's why I was trying to write these down. Laura, this is for you. All right, Laura. Oh, there it is. Okay. Laura, this is for you. And then I'm talking to my Queen of Swords over here, who's been beautifully patient. Laura. So I feel like you put homeboy in a spin with your phone call earlier. I am seeing more increased moods. She said it's about him. What can I expect after all that drama right now? So initially what I'm picking up is this crazy sensation of victimhood. We have the 7 of Cups. Now he's overwhelmed. Now we feel like we already know that he created himself a shit show. There's too many people involved in this, right? Did I just lose? Okay, I didn't lose my chat. Okay, so this right here is this overwhelm that we have. I also have the 4 of Cups. I think he regrets the fact that you know. He wants things to go back to the way they were. He regrets that you know. But here's the thing. Your example is if you can see it, others can see it. Now he's feeling exposed. We also have the Queen of Wands, which is appearance. So I think he's going to fake quite a bit of the next little phase for him. We've got the Queen of Wands, which appearance, however things look, etc. Ooh, I'm also getting the Death card. You might want to cut him off, huh? Are you cutting him off? I see the 2 of Swords too. A lot of indecision for you and fatigue. Like you're tired of dealing with it. But with this 7 of Cups, I'm seeing that he's super overwhelmed and in a tailspin. So he's freaking out. I couldn't believe you did that either. It's just like, grow up. All right, Queen of Swords, I am all yours. So she's saying she had a falling out with Jay and he's gone quiet and she hasn't heard from him. Are we going to patch up the relationship and move forward? It's a new love interest. That's for my queen who was so incredibly kind for hanging out. Sorry, I got snappy, guys. I love you. Stop yelling at me. Let's throw in a little pout over here. All right, here we go, Queen of Swords. Thank you so much. Oh, so the first thing I want to ask about this individual, Jay, is he traveling at all? Or is he out of town? The first thing I have is the Chariot card. I do have the 2 of Cups, the Hermit, the 8 of Pentacles. Ooh, that's exactly what I was looking for. So here's what I'm thinking. Is you've been thinking about this individual quite a bit. We have the 9 of Cups. So this falling out, like you've sat there and examined every scenario, conversation, and aspect of the conversation or the argument. And I'm seeing the Hermit card too. I feel like he's going to use evidence against you or the scenario against you. We have the Death card in the middle. Like whoever said it was over, the other one believes it or feels as if there isn't an opportunity. So I don't know if it's you told him he was done or he told you. But what I'm seeing is this Death card. Both of you are at different perceptions about how things went down. I do feel like it was a heated argument. And the other thing I would like to mention is I feel, she said he lives in a different city. Okay. Yeah. So we have the Chariot card. So that's a lot of distance. The 5 of Pentacles is lack of hope or lack of faith. I think that he's lost, I don't want to say interest, but his enthusiasm because he feels punished right now. That's all I can say. Yep, 7 of Cups, overwhelmed. So he's taking things bigger than they are. Like, I feel like he's literally the one throwing the fit. She said, I told him. Yeah, she said, so I think he thinks the door is closed, and that might be why you're not hearing from him. I do feel like he's a little butthurt, though. 2 of Cups tells me feelings are involved. So if you wondered if feelings were involved and they're hiding the fact, you can trust that the intensity in which you feel for him isn't false. But I also feel just a warning that the cards are showing me with the Eight of Pentacles, a repeat of this kind of behavior from this individual. Eight of Pentacles talks about repetition and redundancy. So over and over and over again. So this might be a cycle to pay attention to, which will give you a clue into how they behave, how their cycles react, or how they. Does that help? Or do you have another insight to that? Okay, yeah, this is a pattern. Hi, Rita, I see your message. I was talking to someone else at the moment. Alrighty, let's see where we're at. There's Bev and Mimi and Beth that we're waiting. You still hear Mimi? Hi. His royal doodliness. Why do I love that so much? What up, Twitch? Thank you for the love, Instagram. Whoever's just popping those little hearts on there. I think those are adorable. I appreciate it. Very accurate. Thank you. I want to thank you for your grace and for your patience with me. She said, it sounds like it's done. I got my answer. LOL. Well, if you want to deal with bratty behavior, I feel like he's going to repeat this little temper tantrum. And that's how I would label it. Hi, Traviesa. Okay. So your question was up earlier. Let's take a peek and see if I can see it, because the chat only goes about a couple inches and then I lose it. So if you, I mean, I know you guys are frustrated. Oh, Leo, she said. My Leo keeps talking about marriage and then acts different. So I'm just like, okay, so that's for my Traviesa. She said, I will wait patiently, and I appreciate that. Okay. So we're going to talk to Traviesa's Leo. The first thing I pick up now, it's interesting. So I live in Utah now, and there's a different culture here. And even though I can say to someone, like when I'm doing a reading, I use the words traditional, because somebody doesn't have to be primarily religious to have a certain kind of, I don't want to say moral standard, because it's not morality, but it's a belief system, right? I'm picking up for Traviesa that this individual in your life has a gender role or a belief system or a patriarchal belief system. I don't want to say misogyny, but I do feel like they have these ideas in their head right away of expectation from you, like what's expected. Ugh, and I am seeing the Emperor. Hold on. It popped up, but I'm going to put it back in the deck. I'm picking up Emperor energy. They want things their way. So for Traviesa, I think it was one of the first Spanish words I learned, Traviesa, in high school. Okay, for your Leo. Woo. Yep, Emperor. All right. So I saw the Emperor on the bottom of the deck, or in the bottom of one of the shuffles when I cut it. And the Emperor was coming through my head when I picked up the deck. So the aspect of the Emperor has a lot to do with patriarchy, male energy, and control. And a lot of times as women, we look at and can't decipher the difference between controlling and in control. They look a lot the same, but I do see the Emperor. So that means he's very independent, does things his own way. We've got the Hangman, which is delay. So you're either putting brakes on it. She said, yeah, he says he wants the macho thing, like he's my man type thing. Okay, got it. All right, so that's exactly that Emperor thing. So that's that machismo and that whole I don't know, strength. I don't even feel like he's that, is he not that big of a guy? All right, so I see drama, I see fatigue, and I see wisdom. I also see arguments between the two of you. 5 of Wands. Did you guys have a pregnancy scare or a discussion around children? Because I feel like that intensified the discussions around marriage and relationship that otherwise wouldn't have come up. And I have a question about them. Did he get in trouble with the law? Or is there a divorce pending or some kind of legal action going on with him behind the scenes? Because there's a lot of drama with him. And I feel like he kind of wears you out. She said, no, he's short but sexy. He's tatted. Okay. So I feel like he's not super tall, right? She said, I think I'm pregnant. Okay. So we have the Empress card, which is pregnancy. So I think that has created a dialogue around what you're doing with the relationship in a different way. So the answer lies in the center, which is the Strength card that has to do, she said, I don't know, he has secrets. Yeah. Well, either he's gotten in trouble with the law or there's something to look up because the Justice card tells us it's present. The Strength card reminds us to use wisdom, love and wisdom. So take your time with this one. I don't see the 4 of Wands, which is marriage. I see the Hangman, which is delay. So if he has any, if he's saying he has intention of doing something soon, I would be like Maury and say that is a lie. All right, so thank you for your patience, Farias. Good luck to you. Let's see who's here. I see Joy and Rita. Just for a general. Okay. So Rita wants to know about a reconciliation if she's still here. All right. Mimi wasn't here on Twitch. I talked to her for a second, but she's not here. Bev D, I think she got tired of waiting. Oh, Posh. And there's Beth. Okay. So Beth, anything on my oldest son, he'll be 26 next week. All right, I'm talking to Beth, and then we're going to go to Posh. It's been hanging out since the beginning, and then we have a Holly. So Beth wants to know about her son. All right, guys, over here on Instagram, I'm going to shut you down, say thank you for joining me, and catch you guys on the flip side. I'll be doing the remainder of this video on YouTube if you want to join me over here. Ooh, so Beth, the first thing that comes up for you is the High Priestess. So if you've been thinking of him, your instincts, trust your instincts, because you have the High Priestess. So when it comes to your son, I feel like he's keeping himself kind of private. I do think he's undecided on what to do next with his life, although he's giving you the impression that he's got it all under control. He does show up as an emperor, so that tells me he's very independent, very vocal. Hi, Kyla. Thank you. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes to ask you for money. We have the Knight of Pentacles, which shows us impulsive behavior. So this next phase for him, you might catch him being a little sneaky or coming back around. He's got a lot of reconciliation to do from some bad habits that he was playing with. I don't know if he's drinking or what the worry was, but I think he doesn't tell you the truth or like share with you because he wants to protect you. We've got this 10 of Cups. So this is Disneyland, right? So Disneyland, or it's not that things are false. It's that he makes things look good or doesn't tell the truth. It's like, I'm fine. It's just the surface. So he's keeping things superficial so that he doesn't get anybody too close. But I am seeing the Devil card. I don't know if that's alcohol that he's using or what, but these bad habits are what you're most worried about, probably. And the Seven of Swords. I don't think he's depressed. I don't know. Is he bipolar? Oh, she said lies. Okay, so that's the Devil card. So yeah, in the Seven of Swords right here is him being sneaky. So your instincts are right on with him. I wouldn't trust any promises that he makes, but I think he's going to hide out from you for a little bit. Hopefully that helps you. I want to thank you for being so patient, Beth. Let's see who I was talking to. Posh was after you. Posh was saying, may I know if I'll be successful in any of the 4 interviews I had before Christmas? Ooh, let's look. So she said his behavior is up and down in mood. Let me pull these back up for you. So we have 2 cards here. Hold on. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? This one, sneaky. There it is. Okay, so this is something that I think you might have him look into, especially if he's drinking, or any other substance. We have the 2 of Swords and the 2 of Wands. And being in the medical or having 20 years of EMS experience, I look at behavioral, I don't like to say disease or dysfunction. I just say behavioral aspects, right? In a different way. No, it's not a replay. So I'm seeing the 2 of Swords and the 2 of Wands. I wouldn't be surprised if he had any bipolar tendencies, which is manic phases and then depressive phases. Doesn't necessarily mean changing my mind. It means that we have hyperactive phases. And then we have these dumps later. So his rhythms kind of go, right? Getting that looked at, awareness is key. If he's able to know how to navigate, that's one beautiful way of being able to understand himself. Or he could get some medication if he's interested in getting some help. Posh, baby. So Posh is asking about these here on Adderall. Either that or he's not using his drugs appropriately or he's misdiagnosed, but I feel like he's got these phases. Posh, this is for you wanting to know about these job interviews. Let's see. We're going to be looking for the 2 of Pentacles. If Posh is going to be getting a job, 2 of Pentacles usually means a job offer. Oh, good. So Viv, good. I had asked for you earlier. Hang out for just another minute. I'm going to do Posh and then we'll talk. And Viv is here. Okay, Posh. Oh, Lord. Here comes the poachers. William Barry Juliet. He's a powerful man. He helped me get here. X back. Contact him. He'll help you get you X back. So here's all the WhatsApp number to call this guru somewhere. Quit poaching. Do your own work. Posh is not popping up. If Posh comes back, we'll talk to her. So, Viv, thank you for hanging out. We're catching up. I only got a couple more here. So, Viv asked me about love and relationship, and you have anxiety. So, take a deep breath with me. Hi, Viv. Oh, Posh. And then Viv. So, Posh, these were shuffled for you, so we'll just start pulling. He is powerful, man. Help get X back. Him will help you. He will help you get X back. That's what it says. You're welcome. Posh, job offer, 2 of Pentacles. Did you hear me say all of that? So with the 2 of Pentacles, it tells us a job offer. Okay, Viv, you're next. So I feel like you're going to get an answer, but it's not going to be right away. Unfortunately, this looks like you have the Hangman. So remember, people are coming back from 2-week vacations and holidays and catching all up. So I do feel like you're going to hear back. We have the 9 of Wands. Sorry, 9 of Coins, which is contracts, black and white. I just don't feel like your answer is going to come soon enough for you to feel happy about it. But you have the Ace of Cups, so that's a pivot point for you. The Star card, I just feel like things are getting tight and you're getting worried and you don't trust people and now you have a little fear. But with the 7 of Cups, I feel like you'll have more than one option. So don't stress. It's going to take a little longer than you expected. Appreciate you. Let's see here. It's Posh. And then Viv. This is you right here. This one's shuffled for you, Viv. So I do general. Okay, babe, this is you. I had to block whoever decided to say socks 99 times. They fucked up my feed. It's already hard enough to see you guys' chats without people not being helpful. So just some knothead can go play somewhere else. Okay, so Viv. Yeah, so first thing that I get for you, my little beloved. You're welcome, Posh. She said, yeah, I know it will take time. Don't feel frustrated, though. I feel like you're going to get an answer soon. Viv. So Viv, Giles, the first thing that I'm seeing for you is the 10 of Wands. So the 10 of Wands is burden. You've got a lot on your plate right now. So carrying a lot. 4 of Cups. Your emotional state right now is frustrated. Okay, so here's what I'm seeing for you, Viv. Is that your inability to ask for help. You're afraid to ask for help. Okay. Aha. And also when it comes to relationship for you, because you said you asked about a relationship. I was looking at the anxiety. I do see the anxiety. You carry a lot of weight. You carry a lot of emotional, trying to find the word. It's not weight. It's silence. Okay, so it's that you don't tell anyone that you have, no kidding. So you don't tell anyone when you have needs. So we've got the 10 of Wands, which is burden, the 4 of Cups, which is wishing, you know, you can't enjoy the things that are in front of you. Right? Which is like, and then we have the Magician card, 6 of Pentacles, which is help, support, charity. What I can tell you when it comes to love and relationships right now is you have the Lover's card. So there's this on again, off again energy that you're dealing with. It feels like it's fluctuating back and forth. If you hold the line, just know that things are going to come into balance for you. Right now we have the Temperance card, which is our card for balance. It talks about, you know, not being able to serve from an empty cup too. So I know you were asking about relationship stuff, but I do feel like frustration is a big part of the game for you right now. And I'm also seeing commitment for you. Like when you feel like you're questioning commitment. You're questioning commitment in general, whether it's possible, whether people can keep their commitments anymore. So here's what I have to say, Miss Viv. She said yes. Okay. So what I'm seeing for you is a lot of energy telling you that things are going to get better. The storm is going to break. Maya Angelou says every storm runs out of rain eventually, and that's not doesn't make us feel any better while it's raining. It just says that it will exhaust itself eventually. So you have the 6 of Swords, which says that the rapids, you're kind of out of the rapids. You're going to kind of skate for a little bit. Wait for that moment. We've got the 6 of Wands, which is victory. But I also feel like you can't win without a fight right now. And so that's causing you to feel a little exhausted too. Ho'oponopono helps. And I feel you're waiting for an apology, Viv. Or someone owes you an apology. And your feelings are still kind of hurt because they haven't. Wusa. We've got the 8 of Swords. So whatever drama that is going on around you, outside of you, you're internalizing these emotions. So you have some work to do, Viv, when it comes to releasing some of these events. I feel like you're carrying the weight of some past events that have caused you to feel like you're weighted down. Put them down, darling. You know what they say, if it's heavy, put it down. And I can most definitely feel some of that anxiety break for you, Viv. Like, are you feeling a warmth in your chest right now? Like all right around here and across the top of your shoulders? Almost like you're blushing. That's heart chakra. Feeling it like a heat. Okay, let's see where I sit here. Like I said, guys, I know you guys are posting your questions a couple times. I am losing a lot of the chat when people like idiot just some knothead posted socks a dozen times and I lost half of my chat. So I want you to feel that energy. Viv, are you feeling that? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, let's stay here for just a minute. I know we have a whole lot of people waiting. And I thank you for your patience. But I feel like this is important. And this is where we have value, right? This is why I tell people all the time, yes, I can do a reading on video. Yes, energy healing and work happens in a quantum level, quantum entanglement. So can we do a little energy clearing? Viv, do you trust me? So I heard a yes, and you're worried again. But so I'm also feeling like you have a hard time expressing with your heart. And so I don't know if it's shy or if you've been abused isn't the right word, or when your vulnerability hasn't been reciprocated, so you shut it back down. And there we go. All right. So I feel like you're about to have a little meltdown or cry. It's okay to cry. Tears are a way to wash things away. It doesn't have to always hurt when we cry. So if these tears need to express themselves, they can be expressed beautifully. We can cry without being this racking mess on the floor. So if something has to come out and allow itself to release, right? Let it out. So I want you to think of something really quick, Viv. So this feeling that you're feeling in your chest is literally your heart chakra. It's warm. It comes out like a warm campfire, or leaning in toward the campfire. And as I'm touching your heart chakra energy, there's this tight pain, like a pinch, okay? So one of the techniques, and also left shoulder pain, yeah? So when I teach people to clear their heart chakra, now you don't have to put your hands like this if you can't, but if you can put your hands like this behind your chest, your back, okay? So I'm doing this behind my back. And what it does is forces your shoulders back and your head up. And that opens your heart chakra. So give that a shot. If you can't put your palms together, which is fine, a lot of people can't, grab like this, rock your shoulders back, and hit the base of your spine against your sacrum and tilt your head up a little bit. And seek that feeling in meditation, because that's open heart chakra. So we can open it, but the second you think about fear, and now it's moving down into your belly, let it go all the way to the floor. So we just cleared a little energy for you. I feel like you want to throw up though. It's just new to you. Deep breaths. So feeling nauseous is also purging. Feeling like you have to pee is also purging. Sneezing, coughing, crying. Let these energies out, sweetheart. Don't panic. You got this. You got this. Okay. I don't know. I felt like I needed to sit a minute with Viv. Bev Dent, you are next. All right, so Bev, if you're still here, then I have Rita. She said it's snowing in New Mexico, Roswell. Feels better. So this nauseous feeling that you have, I want you to use your throat chakra and breathe through it to keep it clear, because you swallow it down and you'll feel nauseous again. All right, so Bev D, she asked if she's still on the list, and I'm not hearing from her. Bev Dent. That's some Ho'oponopono, darling. So check out my website, Karma on Deck, Viv, and see if there's one of the blogs has to do with Ho'oponopono. If not, I will post one for you, or look up Ho'oponopono on Google. It's magical. And reach out to me if you want me to help you walk you through some of those techniques to help you clear that energy. All right, Bev was next. I'm not hearing from her. Let me know if you're here. The next is Rita. Can I get a reading? Is someone coming my way to reconcile? Who was asking if someone was stalking them? Because the answer was yes. And then Allison after Rita. She said, I would be definitely doing this chakra. So heart chakra, all you have to do, remember, the root chakra is our base. It's our body. Okay? Our root chakra is our body. So we don't have to get rooted if we can just stay present in our body. But to get rooted is pretty easier. It's pretty easy. But if you can come from heart, if you can just stay with heart and stop worrying about the whole entire body or in its total, right? No, it wasn't you. Someone had asked just the question if someone's talking. So, Rita, you are next. Thank you. But let's stay with this for a minute. So your chakras, in order to activate your chakras, there's only one that you need to worry about. We can get into a whole overactive conversation. I need to quit soon. I'm starting to get loopy. But here's what's true. Heart chakra is the one that activates almost everything. So, Holly, I just put you on the list. So, if you've heard the expression heart chakra activated, it's because if you can just come from love, it will do the work for you in either direction. So really, if you just start there, guys, in meditation and finding love, finding your center, finding heart. Now, for Viv, what she has is that warm feeling. That is actually how I feel when I go to heart center. It's like a warm campfire. It's a burning, a warmth that comes forward. So if all you ever do is stay in heart center, the rest will come into alignment. Okay. And then I got to quit. I've done like 30 readings. So this is like the list. I've done so many. And then we're going to quit after who's on this list. So Rita, you were hanging out. Let's talk. So Viv, you've got an example of what my energy work looks like. Rita. Let me look up here and see if there is your question, if it didn't get bumped. All right, let's see. Is someone coming my way to reconcile? Thank you so much for your patience. You've been very kind about it. So also thank you for who just dinged with the donation. Appreciate it. All these dings. Oh, this is someone you're missing. Okay, so I see 9 of Cups. This reconciliation, like this division that you two had, was a misunderstanding, an impulsive behavior, impulsive decision. We have the Knight of Pentacles, which means they didn't mean it or they were kind of fast. Wonderland, yes, you are on the list. You're a couple down though. If you have something to do in the meantime, you could take a break. But I do see the Page of Cups, which is a request. So this individual is going to want to come back eventually, Rita. I do feel like you missed them though. And I also pick up that they don't live near you and they can be kind of stubborn, or they're traveling right now, or there's some intensity between the two of you. But the drama needs to be clear. Both parties are feeling defensive. We have the 7 of Wands. The Death card tells us that there's transformation involved or somebody ended things completely. But with the Page of Cups tells us there's new beginnings. Okay. But I feel like this is going to take some work and some time. And I feel like, to be honest, I feel like both parties have apologies to be made. And I don't know if there's room for that right now. And I don't know if this other individual is humble enough. We have the Knight of Pentacles, which has to do with pride, and it has to do with impulses and maturity. So you might be dealing with someone's differing level of maturity. So I feel like this might be a little bit of a difficult reconciliation. It might take some time. And they run a high risk of pulling the same stunt again. We've got the 10 of Swords, which is betrayal. So I'm not sure trust is there. But you do have the Lover's card. The last card that I pulled for you was the Lover's card. So this is a cycle. Either it's happened before or it'll happen again. You're welcome, Viv. So the Lover's card, Rita, is cycles. It's the Great Tango. So when I say the Great Tango, like if you've ever watched a tango on TV, right? You've got two people that come together, they crash in the middle, and then the one spins off and dances and shows off, and the other one does. And then they come together, and it's the tossing back and forth of energy. So there's a lot of this dichotomy, right? So there's a power struggle in this relationship. Now, whether that's maturity versus immaturity or impulse versus response, it just feels like there's a constant rubber band. So back and forth here. So let's see who's here. All right. So hi. Is it time? Come on. Come on. Come here. All right. Doggo wants me to take a break, but I've got a couple more here. So I've been on for a couple hours here. So those of you that have been waiting, thank you so much for your patience. I keep losing the chat. So I try to write these down, and I try not to pay attention to the chat because it just gets lost up at the top anyway. So right now I'm talking, we have Allison, Holly, and Wonderland. If you're still here. She said, I'm tired of waiting. Yeah, I think it's going to be a work. And I think that they will be hard-pressed to give the apology you deserve. Stop. You tried to get on my lap. I offered and you said no. So Allison's here. So Allison's talking about general. You gotta go, baby. Go. He always bites me when I get to channeling too much. Okay, you're next, Holly. So this is for Allison. Great. And anybody else that wants a reading at this point, if you want me to hang out, well, we'll see how I feel. If you want me to stay, it's going to be donations from here on out. If you're not already on the list, I've been on here 2 hours. Allison. Allison, okay. You've got a lot of major cards. Not bad, good, or indifferent, but what I am seeing for you is a possible change in job or finances for you. We have the Two of Pentacles in the center of the reading, encompassed by a lot of powerful cards. You've got the Ace of Swords. I know you don't want to change jobs. I just heard you say that. But this might be something along the lines of improvement at where you're working. So I am seeing Temperance, Balance, the World card, the Magician, the Emperor, and the Strength card. All of these tell me that a lot of exciting things are about to come into balance for you. Look here, we've got the 10 of Cups and the Magician card with the Ace of Swords. So the Magician is our card for mastery, okay? The Temperance about balance, being like the cups pouring from one to the other. So there's balance. We have the World card, celebration, the Strength card, which is wisdom. She says it'll be in finance. So if you have a job opportunity coming, okay. All right, so you have a job coming and it's going to change shit for you like in a major way. And that's what I meant by a lot of major cards looking good. You got the Ace of Swords. So the Magician card has to do with competency. It has to do with speaking. It has to do with go time. Like you're well prepared for this. And the World, which means it might even be a company that's pretty big. But right now you have the Ten of Swords, right? Kind of feeling stuck. Yep. Knight of Cups being the new guy. I love it. So look here too, Ten of Cups, balance. So this is all going to come into alignment for you pretty quick, Allison. If you've been waiting to hear back about a job, that's going to happen pretty quickly. I wish that was the answer for Posh earlier, who had 4 interviews. But you also have the King of Cups, which is EQ. I think you're going in to this new position with a whole lot of power. You have the Emperor, okay, so the decision maker, somebody that has a lot of power, control, and influence. You also have the Magician, so you'll be spoken to and heard, and probably responsible for a lot of stuff. You'll have to let me know how that turns out, Allison. Holly. So Holly wants a general spread. So the center of your reading, Allison, was that 2 of Pentacles, which is a job offer. So congratulations and good luck. So Holly's looking for a general spread. And then Wonderland, if you're still kicking it. Ah-ho! Holly. Sounds good, thank you. Healing, love, and abundance to me. Thank you, I'll take it. Holly, here we go. Are you going back to school, Holly? Or taking a class? All I have to say is fortify your foundations right now. You're in a great place. Or trust the path that you've chosen. Let me just put it that way. We have the 9 of Wands, which is foundation. You're halfway there. I see the 3 of Swords, though, which is miscommunication. I feel like you're having a couple of instances where things have not been communicated well and you've been worried about that, but it's going to be really transient. Balance is coming your way, 10 of Cups. We also see Page of Cups. Are you single? Because there's a new beginning here. Now, I don't know if that has to do with school for you or a new beginning relationship-wise, but I do see that timing is involved with a lot of things with you right now. So the shift has happened already, and whatever you've got in motion is going to continue. Okay? So keep building on those foundations. That's that 4 of Wands. So the 9 of Wands does talk to us a little bit about fatigue, laying foundations and kind of repeating things. However, I feel like you're more tense. She is single. Okay, so there you are. So here's the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups has to do with a new relationship. So I don't know if you're looking, but if you're not, surprise. So I see a new relationship coming for you, and then you've also got the 10 of Cups. And I know you were asking about general, but this is coming up for you. And then look here, 3 of Cups has to do with chemistry. Bow chicken now. I love it. I do feel like you're a little bit moderately overwhelmed right now. Not like the 8 of Wands, which is anxiety, but you got a lot on your plate, and you're handling it well. Look here, 7 of Wands. Just like being in a batting cage, you got this. One thing after another. Tension, though. All right, so the only other question I had for you had to do with stress. Why do you feel like there's a lot of stress and deadlines on you right now? Holly, just feels a little bit of stress. Not exactly like that anxiety though. What up, Wonderland? How does Sagittarius Daniel perceive me currently? I'm Aquarius. I love me some Aquarius. I am a Capricorn. Somebody asked me what my zodiac sign was. So I'm not sure if I want to hang out anymore after these. Let's see. We've been on here for like 2 hours. If you got questions for me, want me to hang out, my donations are, she said I'm stressed out and exhausted. So yes, you can donate at Karma on Deck, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App for your question. Right now, Wonderland, where are you at? I am a Capricorn, Wonderland. How does Sagittarius perceive me currently? I'm Aquarius. All right, so this is for Wonderland. Happy New Year to you too. Give me a little something, Wonderland, a heart or a something. Let me know you're here. So Wonderland wants to know, how does Aquarius Daniel perceive me currently? Let's see. I don't know why this one is such a hard one, but everybody asks me, what does so-and-so think of me? It's not an easy one to answer because they don't focus on one thing. I look at their general standpoint in life and I can see what's influencing them. There we go. All right, Wonderland, let's see how you're doing, darling. Truly do appreciate you. You've hung in there for quite a bit. Quite a minute. Okay. So let's see what Daniel has to say. So let me just say this about this individual that you're dealing with, Wonderland. You're welcome, Holly. So I see in this individual, in Daniel, a little bit of pride. So they're kind of hard to get through to or perceive. I don't know if they come from a know-it-all standpoint or a little lofty behavior that I'm seeing, because the Hierophant has to do with arrogance and stubbornness. I also pick up that this individual talks a lot, or this, we have the Magician. Are they charismatic? So there's not an ability to respond with them. I can also see with them that there is somewhat a little bit of drama going on around them, and they're very hard to please. So we have the Four of Cups right here. These cups in the front and the one behind, you can see how they're not happy with what's in front of them. This is what we call the moving goalposts, where you could put something in, they've got something in front of them that they say for you to acquire. And when you acquire it, there is another and another and another. So they constantly have like this expectation that can get exhausting. And I also see a little bit of judgmental behavior here with this Judgment card. So, and I'm wondering if you have insomnia, Wonderland, or if you think about this individual all the time. Because I feel like they owe you an apology as well. We've got the Knight of Wands, the Nine of Cups, and the Nine of Cups and the Nine of Swords says a lot of overwhelm goes on with you in regards to how you interact with this individual. And sometimes it can get a little heavy. I think Judgment's a big name of the game for this individual. Big ego. All right. See, my chat takes forever. I've been waiting and now it just pops up. Okay. So true. Big ego. Yeah. He needs to be in the center of attention. Haha. Okay. Great. All right. So I feel like there isn't a lot of room for you to be able to get anything in if you wanted to speak to this individual. I feel like Nine of Swords, you stay up at night thinking of them, or that you feel as if you're connected to them. We also see the Nine of Cups, where they have this demanding energy that makes you feel overwhelmed sometimes. Yes. Okay. So this Nine of Cups, if you look at it, it is almost like depression, right? It's that overwhelm. And that is the exact thing I talked about in the beginning of the reading, right? Before we got to questions. And I feel like they talk shit, and I don't know if it's to you or around you or the way that they talk is just callous. But if you see this Knight of Swords, this is my shit talking dude, right? I don't know if it's because they like to antagonize or they think it's funny, but be cautious of that. I don't think they respect your boundaries or your bubbles or your emotions. And I don't think they come from judgment. I just think it's arrogance. And, you know, when I was in coaching, we had a phrase called casualness causes casualties, right? We treat people casually and they don't feel respected and loved and etc. So I just kind of feel like there is some difficulty in communicating and it gets hard. So don't take what they have to say personally. I think they kind of spin how do I block these stupid people? All right. So as far as their opinion, like when you ask me, what do they think of me? I don't think it's relevant. Right? I don't think it's valuable opinion. I think it's just smart talking, kind of casualness. So don't take it too personally, darling. And I'm even be willing to guess that there is another. Now caring. So, all right. So she says, so basically he does not care about me. Now let's talk about that for a second before everybody goes sideways on that. So a narcissist isn't that they don't care. It's just selfishness. Okay. Serving the self first looks like they don't care. They do care, but they feel like they're expressing their love and care and attention, yet they're not. But they don't, their pride doesn't allow them to step down long enough and be present to give what's needed. They don't think they don't care. They just care about other things that are in front of them more, or that attention goes to those things that are in front of them first. So it's like a cascade, right? And I do feel as if you don't have an ability to communicate what your needs are with this individual because they don't let you have that word in edgewise. And I do think it is a lot of maturity too. Pride and arrogance and maturity. So when we have immaturity, it's like being wrecked against the shores, or against the rocks without a lighthouse. There's just kind of, we can get injured because we don't realize, or they don't realize, you know? Because I don't think any of this is intentional. So love and good behavior are two different things, right? I do feel like they care about you. Well, there's a lot of cups in here, or some. But the apology, I do feel like there is an apology that's needed from this individual. And they worry a lot more about what things look like. So it might be difficult for them. All right, kids, 2 hours I've been doing these. And for all of you beautiful souls that waited for your reading, thank you. For all your patience, your kindness, etc. Jameson's going to come in here and bug me until I get done. I've been on here since 3 o'clock this afternoon doing Capricorn, Sagittarius, Scorpio, and now this one. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Happy New Year. This is how I wanted to spend the day. If you're interested in booking a one-on-one, visit karmaondeck.com. There's classes, mentorship, energy work, coaching. And otherwise, hang out with me. Subscribe to my channel on YouTube. Let me know how you feel your reading went and where you are in the world. And meanwhile, love and light to you. Thank you.